What is going on, y'all? Psych Perspectives GeoFox. Y'all not gonna believe this. So last week, literally a week ago, today is the 11th. So May 4th. May the 4th be with you, right? So a week ago, Thursday, May 4th, myself and 3 other colleagues of mine got together to type up a letter detailing why we need a cost of living adjustment, a cost of living increase that takes in consideration the actual cost of living and inflation. Now, you know, I've been talking about this forever and a day, where we're not paid living wages at all. Again, I make $40,000 a year gross annual income. I net $32,000, and it all depends on your benefit package, right? Because some people are literally between $28,000 and $32,000 a year is what they're going to take home after taxes and deductions have been removed at the $40,000 rate at my job, depending on your benefits package. Because people have the option to opt in and opt out of different benefits. So with all that being said, I made sure to talk about quantitative data. So I was actually talking about the actual numbers. Social Security Administration for the USA increased. They have cost of living adjustments basically every year, but you will notice between 2021 and 2022 they had the largest cost of living increase. 2021 was like 5.5%, and 2022 was 8.7%. So just those 2 years alone, you feel me? And then even in 2020, they still had an increase. It wasn't that big of an increase, but it was an increase. The increase was, I believe, 1.6%. So if you add 1.6%, 5.5%, 8.7%, you're basically at roughly 5.9%. And you know how we are taught in math, you round up. So really, you're at a 16% increase on the cost of living between 3 years, 2020, 2021, and 2022. We haven't even gotten 2023's cost of living yet, okay? So I discussed that. Then I also discussed how, what the average cost of rent in our area is. For a 2-bedroom, you're looking at about $938. After that, you're well over $1,000 a month. And that's the fair rate market, okay, according to HUD. So, you see what I'm saying? A 1-bedroom is like $745, and efficiency is like $645. So either way it goes, if you're making $1,200 every 2 weeks and you have rent, even if you're at the efficiency rate of $645, you're still not going to be earning enough money to live. You're literally losing half of your bi-weekly paycheck just by paying rent. Now, keep in mind, some people obviously have children, have dependents. You still have other bills and responsibilities outside of rent or mortgage. You got consumers, you got utilities, you got water, you got gas, you got electric. You know, you have food and groceries. You have car notes, car payments, car insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance, internet, cell phone, things of these natures come into play. You still have to have clothes to wear. You know what I'm saying? So when people are having these conversations about cost of living and our income not matching it, this is what we're talking about. You know, and like I said, anybody that has children or dependents, we're screwed. Okay, because not only are you responsible for taking care of yourself, you're also responsible for taking care of your child or your children or your dependents. A lot of us have older parents, grandparents, or family members that are sick and need assistance. And who's providing that assistance? 9 times out of 10, it's that family. So it's you. Okay, so you're splitting costs between all of these different pots, and yet inflation continues to go up, cost of living continues to go up, yet none of our wages and salaries seem to ever reflect that. They don't even take in consideration. Literally last year, in August of 2022, I had a performance review. I received stellar remarks from my leadership and my administration, and my direct leader, etc. And I didn't even get a pay raise. So again, what's the point of us having leadership do performance reviews and we're not even going to be getting raises? So what's the point? Okay, and once again, I've been here for a year and a half. I should have already received 2 or 3 different raises just in that amount of time. If we're really going to be honest, every 6 months, you should be getting some type of raise. I'm just going to be real. And at the bare minimum, at least once a year, I haven't received any. And I've been here a year and a half. Literally. So it's just something to think about. Again, we're not paid. So we wrote that letter up. We originally, had discussed potentially going to the board first. But upon meeting with each other and talking to other colleagues, we decided to submit the letter to our CEO. And that's what we did, which, according to the CEO, that is the proper chain of command. Yet this person decided to spend the entire meeting. Mind you, they weren't even going to discuss what the letter was about from last week, because they had set the staff meeting to only be 30 minutes. And then when you looked at the agenda, the letter and the discussion on pay wasn't even on the agenda. So again, they were about to basically sideswipe the entire conversation. So we ended up having to interject, and the meeting did end up basically being like 50 minutes to an hour, because we're not gonna just sit up here and allow this to be brushed under the rug. This has been an ongoing issue for quite some time, and it's just been crazy, because this is what everyone has been discussing since last year. This isn't something that just happened all of a sudden, like, oh, all of a sudden you all are complaining. No, we've been talking about this issue for over a year. It's May, okay? And once again, just between 2022 to 2023, we've seen the cost of living increase. We are not making that much money. I mean, and then I even went as far to also talk about the U.S. Housing and Urban Development, HUD. I went as far as discussing how, even according to HUD standards, we are considered low income at $40,000 a year, because one person in the household for our particular city, county in the state of Michigan, one person in the household making up to $40,150 or less is considered low income, because that's 80% of the area median income. So you're paying low income wages while claiming to be a nonprofit that's focused on creating economic prosperity and stability, while simultaneously paying poverty wages so people can't have economic prosperity and stability. A lot of the people that work here are literally, a lot of us have 2 and 3 jobs, multiple side hustles. It's really hard out here. People are suffering. People are really going through it, and it's just really ridiculous how you can have administration be so tone deaf to, or not, I don't say tone deaf because again that's super ableist, but be so oblivious to what's going on, and what, like, as if they're not living in the same stuff. But that's just it. You know, our CEO is making what, $175,000 a year, and has received essentially a $10,000 raise the past 5 years. Because if you look at the public documents on our finances, this person came in at the end of December 2018 making $125,000. And here we are in 2023 and they're at $175,000. So you mean to tell me in a course of half a decade, 5 years, you have received $50,000 increase, $10,000 a year raises, and yet your employees haven't received anything of that stature? It's ridiculous. And like the out cold part is, even if we were to receive, for example, 20% pay increase, wow, you go from 40 to